looked at them in more detail?
To mention in relative.
100,000. I can see 100,000. I can 100.
Welcome to American Dream Garage. I recently had a tour with over 50 people that toured both of my garages. And during that tour, we talked a little bit about the shops, but mainly we talked about my cars and why I have them. So why do you have 50 cars? Well, I love automobiles. I've always loved automobiles, and my collection of cars represents cars that I always wanted, that I in later years thought would be more valuable in the future, or just cars I came across and thought would be fun to have. So anyway, I will go through the tour in probably 2 videos, at least, maybe 3, and give you a chance to listen to what that group listened to. Thanks for joining us. I'll take you through a little tour, tell you about this building, and then you can look around at everything. This my first cars that I owned, I owned a third of the building next door, and the guy had a call option on the space, and he called it and kicked me out. And so me and 2 other guys found this was a vacant lot for parking for the football games. They used to have 3 rows deep of cars in here. Still Friday nights, it'll be that crowded out there. And we built this in 2006. And you see the signs, Big 8 Motors and American Dream Garage. Big 8 Motors is the original LLC that it was formed for this, and I have a dealer's license, the state of Kansas, and it's under Big 8 Motors. That's this badge. And then American Dream Garage is primarily my YouTube. I have a YouTube channel, so if you guys all feel inclined, you could look up my YouTube channel and subscribe, and I'd have more subscribers. Hint, hint. Yeah.
All right, as you wish.
So Big 8 Motors was, and you can see the Oklahoma and the Kansas, the 2 guys that were in. One was an Oklahoma grad, the other 2, me included, was KU. So Big 8, and that emblem out with this emblem, you can see is like the original Big 8. And that's where we got the name. American Dream Garage is because what I bought are my dreams. So you'll see that there's a lot of Mercedes here. I admit I like Porsche. I also like Mercedes. So this car in the middle here is the first collector car I ever bought back in 2002. And this was the pinnacle of my dream cars. The same guy that had the Jaguar Coupe in college had one of these, same color. And my first MGB that I had was the same color, Regency Red. And I dreamed about this car, and when I thought that I got it, I would drive it out to California and drive up the coast, and I got it. And if you've ever driven an older British car like this, and you get used to the modern computer built cars. You get in and the steering is kind of loosey-goosey, and you hit bumps and they kind of rattle and shake. And it was kind of a dream letdown.
Never meet your heroes, huh?
Yeah, you gotta readjust yourself to it. But it's a great car, and I've done a lot of things to it over the years to get it dressed up. But this is one I'll never sell. I'll keep this one forever. So This was a Wichita car, it had it repainted. This car is a 4-speed car. So relatively rare, and for those of you who said that, back in the back, that I didn't finish a project.
No, I did not say that.
This one, I did. I finished it, got it back on the road, and had it checked out, and everything was put back together right, and it runs good. So one of these cars will be sold. I don't know which one. Back there is a Wichita car. It's owned by Schofield and services Schofield up to 100,000 miles. It's got 115 on it now. It's a 6.9 liter. So I said it's the older brother of the 6.3 liter. Engine is just kind of ratcheted in there. I mean, most of them had 4.5 liter V8. That's a 6.9 liter V8. Also the fastest production car. And in the day, that car in 1979 cost 50 grand, which was a Rolls Royce was like 50 grand. So I mean, it was double the price of the original or the other 450. So it's kind of a special car, and it's fun to drive. This is its older brother. This is the 560 SEL, which they call it the dictator's car. Well, it's got the footrest in the back and power seats, and that car is the same color as the first car I ever bought my wife. Desert Taupe, I fell in love with that. Then someone said they liked the big blocks and 396, so this is a 396 Chevelle, and it's interesting because it has every option you can get. It has power windows, power door locks, I think power seats, 8-track, full gauge package, air conditioning, deluxe interior, beautiful red, you can't see it, it's got a beautiful red interior. This car is, it looks a little dirty underneath, but it's a rotisserie restored car when I bought it. And it's been driven. It's a 400 convertible, but it's a 4-speed. And Pontiacs, I mean, in Camaro, they made a lot of 4-speeds, and Pontiac was more luxurious, and I've not seen another 4-speed in the 400 convertible. And it's got power windows, power top, air conditioning.
8-track.
Then this is 320S, 320, yeah, right, something. It's a Cabriolet, 320 Cabriolet. And they only made these for a few years, and they were a high-end car from Mercedes. It's a beautiful driving car. And then this is ZR1, and I love yellow, and I told my partner if I ever saw a yellow ZR1 I would buy it, and I found this one. Negotiated with the guy. This is a NCRS Judge car, 25,000 mile. It only lost a couple points for like some stains on the carpet and some other things on the broken. So it's, the ZR1. It's the king of the hill.
It's a hot rod.
Yeah, this is got the Mercury Marine engine in it. It's one of the most durable engines you'll ever see. And it's got 400 something, yeah. Listen to him.
The heads were designed by Lotus.
I say that's unusual to find a Chevrolet 4-cam,
Yeah, and this
4-valve cylinder motor.
Yeah, actually, you're right. Got a lot of knowledge here. But yeah, it was built to compete with Ferraris, and they called it the King of the Hill.
Yep.
And the last 2 years, 95 was the last year. That's the year I wanted, but then I saw this one. They only made 448, I think, in the last 3 years of it. I need to disconnect this. 72 Chevy pickup truck is also my favorite truck. And favorite year for Chevrolet pickup truck, and that's a driver truck that I use. 66 GTO. This belongs to a friend who used to be a partner in the garage and he moved away. And
He left you a car.
He left it. Diana, how long have they been gone?
Scott, you
Oh gosh, like 5 years maybe?
4 or 5 years.
He forgot about it.
He doesn't have room for it.
Yeah.
I think I want it.
Yeah.
You know the other
4 or 5. You know, actually, what he does is he pays me. So he works for a company that's promotional.
The other 10 is don't you?
And so he pays me shirts and jackets. Then this was on my list. This is the 1 year only, 1965 Buick Transport, which has the dual 4-barrel.
Ah.
425 nailhead. And this car will smoke tires. Even though it's a luxury.
We're all freaking
Luxury. Or luxury. Anybody know what this is?
Let me see.
Stag.
Stag.
Brendan's answer to the Mercedes SL.
I told you that. No, I told somebody.
You were telling me that.
No,
Your attempt anyway.
they are, they're very rare. It's a V8 and they built it to compete with the XKE and the SL. And it was a terrible failure. I mean, they're good looking cars. It's got that hard top over there, soft top, built-in roll bar, luxurious appointments. It's got, you know, remote mirrors and power windows. Huh?
What's the make of
Triumph. Triumph.
What's it trying?
It's got a 3-liter V8 in it, and it had overheating problems. I think it had something to do with the water pump and where the water pump was located, and they, you know, most of them broke down and they couldn't keep them on the road, and it's an easy fix. This one's been repaired, whatever they had to do. I researched it once and I forgot, but it's a great driving car. I mean, it's different than any other car that I have from a driving perspective. It's very hard to describe. It's not fast, it's not slow. It feels like a tank when you drive it, the way the engine is and the transmission. But anyway, that's a Stag. This, you know what, this is a 77 930. I bought this about 15 years ago, so before they went crazy in price. And at the time I got somewhat ripped off and I had to put in like $15,000 into the motor. But as you know, they've gone way up, so I don't feel so bad anymore. But yeah, it smoked something awful when I got it.
What year is that, Joe?
77. So it's where is it? I need new seats for it.
I know a guy's got a pair of seats.
I know. Because these are Recaros. It's got a period correct steering wheel, but I'll leave that. But I want to replace the seats in it.
Well, these didn't have an intercooler, right? The first
No.
year? Yeah, first two.
This is 3-liter. It's a 3-liter. This car is sold. So people that say that don't sell anything, this car is sold. This sold on Bring a Trailer about a month ago. And it's going to New Hampshire, I think.
When are they gonna bring a trailer?
Okay, then last year for the nice plug. Last year for the big block in the Corvette, 74. So that's again the 74, the year that I turned 16. This is my wife's favorite. 73 455 Trans Am. This car has every option that you can get from the factory. I mentioned that, people think, well, why is that important? People like that. When you think about the rarity of cars, this has power door locks, you can believe it. Why would you need power door locks when you can reach across?
Yeah, they're bigger.
Power trunk. It has every single option except the block heater. This is about the 6th car I ever bought. Cutlass 442, that's a W25, so it's, you can't see it, it's got the forced air, or what they would call ram air, but forced air induction. This car was, as the guy told me when I bought it, it was a nut and bolt, anyway, totally restored. Well, it was, but not quite like I would like it, but it's a great car. Up from the chassis, it's in really good condition, and it's a 1970, and it's a 455. So it's got a lot of go to it. This is a 1970. This was owned by I think he's like the vice president of the Pontiac National Car Club. I bought it from him, and the Ram Air was added to this car. So it has everything that a judge would have, but you didn't put the stickers on it, which is good. Then back there, I told you my first car was the Fiat. My second car was an MGB. And that's not it, but that's a 72 MGB that I bought because I wanted to have one from a memory perspective. My third car was a 280Z. So that car back there is all original, rust-free, no cracks in the dash, original interior, original radio, original hubcaps, but running wise, it's a little rough. It starts and runs and drives, but it needs a little bit of work, and eventually, when I finish my other projects, I'm gonna work on that one, because those cars have gone up quite a bit in value. Then, this car, tires flat again.
I see you put Longhorn horns on the front of that.
Well, this is the year I graduated from high school, so 76 Eldorado convertible is the last year for the convertible until they brought it back again. And people that know these cars, when these were new, people bought them and put them up on blocks, because it was the last GM convertible, supposedly, of all time.
Yeah, they thought that there's a convertible going to be outlawed across the
Yeah,
board.
yeah, because of rollover standards. Yeah, so people put a lot of these cars up on blocks. I think this car was at one point in time, it's got 42,000 miles, but you'll see them out there with almost no miles. But then once they started making convertibles again, that went away, and their value, it's not that valuable car. Anyway, it's a fun car to drive. It's a boat, it's big.
Highway creep and top hat.
And yeah, you can take 2 other couples. Yeah.
Serious. Float down, I had 78 for race.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You're sitting there, that hood just goes all through. It floats. Yeah. So, back there, early in my life, I had, before I could afford it, I bought a new Range Rover. And, in the late 80s. And, things didn't go as well that year as I had planned, and so I had to sell it back. So I always, it was one of those cars that it's kind of like it got taken away from me. But that's the last year for the first series classic, 1995 soft dash.
Those things have really gone up.
They have gone up. That car, I mean, it's nice, but it could use some dressing up a little bit.
10, 15 years ago, you couldn't give those away.
They're, I still drive it, so in the wintertime, I'll put my car away, and I'll get that out, and I'll drive it, and I'm waiting for 2 feet of snow. I don't know if we'll ever get it, but you can see, you can crawl underneath that car, slide underneath it, it's got plenty of ground
Air
clearance.
suspension.
It drives like a tank. These things look bad when I get them up like this. That's a 300 SL 5-speed.
Oh, it's a stick?
Yeah,
That's rare, what, 200 of them or something?
144 made that year.
The 1 year only.
Yeah. Well, no, they made it a couple other years, but that year they did. Yeah, I did some research on it. So it's a rare car. That's a 62,000 mile car. Hardtop is out. The other garage. This car I bought in Kansas City this year, and I saw it, and it's like I'm not a big Japanese car fan, and I knew these cars. I'd seen them. I tell you, start this car. I have a video of it with a glass of wine. No, maybe that's my V12 Mercedes. So smooth, the rotary. I saw this in an auction, and I said, I've never even seen one ever at an auction. And so anyway, now I have it. And then that's a 72 350. I had a theory that the other SLs were going up so high that these have to follow, and they haven't, really. So, and then the last car is a 1966 Austin Healey 3000 BJ8, and I bought that car 7 or 8 years ago because my life goal is to restore it.